오늘 오라클 폴 스케일업 런치 웨비나에 참석해주신 분들 모두 환영하고 또 감사드립니다. 저희가 오늘 소개해드릴 웨비나 전체적인 아젠다는 제가 먼저 이제 간단하게 프로그램에 대한 그런 개요를 말씀드린 후에 해당 프로그램이 이제 글로벌 프로그램이기 때문에 그 프로그램을 담당하고 계신 이제 라지브 프로그램 헤드께서 이제 발표를 해주실 예정이시고요. 그 이후에 기술 지원 분야에 대해서는 이상수 부장님께서 발표해 주실 예정입니다. 네, 그러면은 제가 먼저 간략히 프로그램에 대한 소개부터 이제 말씀드리도록 하겠습니다. 네. 이번 오라클 글로벌 스케일업 프로그램은요, 이번에 새롭게 이제 런칭된 한국 오라클의 프로그램으로서 이제 다양한 JPEG 컨트리에서 진행이 되고 있는데, 근본에 한국에서는 저희가 최대 20개사의 스타트업을 선착순으로 모집을 하고 있습니다. 그래서 이 스타트업들은 이제 B2B, 혹은 B2B2C 이제 솔루션을 가지고 계신 그런 스타트업들을 집중적으로 저희가 모집을 하는데요. 어느 정도 이제 시장에서 성숙한 그런 매출 기여도를 가지신 이제 최소 10억에서 최대 100억 정도의 매출 기여도를 가지신 스타트업들을 모집을 하고 있습니다. 이 스타트업 프로그램이 저희가 시작된 이유는 이제 다양한 대기업들이 이제 국내에서도 많은 스타트업을 투자하고 또 이제 벤처 투자자들도 연결시켜주고 이런 프로그램을 진행하고 있는데요. 저희는 이제 오라클 클라우드를 기반으로 해서 저희와 함께 성장해 나갈 클라우드를 모집하고 그분들께 이제 클라우드 크레딧적인 혜택이나 기술적인 혜택, 그리고 또 오라클의 전문가 또는 이제 해외 투자자분들을 이제 연결시켜주는 그런 프로그램으로서 저희와 함께 조금 더 이제 엔터프라이즈 시장을 노리는 그런 스타트업 분들께 이제 지원을 드리는 혜택이라고 보실 수 있겠습니다. 따라서 저희가 이제 스타트업과 오라클이 함께 윈윈하는 이제 파트너십 모델을 가지고 움직인다고 보시면 되겠는데요. 네, 스타트업들이 이제 이 프로그램을 이제 최대로 활용할 수 있는 방법, 그리고 그 이유에 대해서 말씀드리자면, 일단 오라클이라고 하면은 이제 클라우드를 떠올리시는 분들이 그렇게 많지는 않으실 것 같아요. 이제 클라우드를 고려하실 때 사실 AWS나 MS나 이런 것들을 이제 가장 우선적으로 고려하시는데, 오라클 클라우드를 잘 모르셨다면 저희 프로그램을 이제 최대로 활용하실 수 있는 이제 절호의 기회라고 보시면 되겠습니다. 저희는 타사에 비해서 이제 3, 40% 비용 절감 효과가 있어서 그런 부분에도 큰 도움이 될 거라고 생각하고요. 인프라적인 부분에서도 이제 최고의 성능과 또 데이터베이스 그동안의 이제 역사를 가진 그런 성능을 기반으로 이제 가장 최고의 기술을 이제 전달 드리기 때문에 그분들을 저희와 함께 파트너십을 통해서 더욱더 이제 좋은 결과를 이끌어내고자 하시는 분들께 적합한 프로그램입니다. 따라서 저희가 그런 기술적인 부분 또는 어떤 워크로드를 가지셨느냐에 따라서 이제 커스터마이즈된 전략들을 저희가 제공을 해드림으로써 조금 더 보다 성공적인 스토리로 저희와 함께 성장해 나가고 또한 이제 스타트업에서 엔터프라이즈로 더욱 큰 기업으로 이제 발돋움하는 데 큰 도움이 되실 거라고 생각합니다. 네, 이 스케일업 프로그램은 크게 세 가지 측면으로 이제 보실 수 있겠는데요. 가장 기본적인 이제 무료 크레딧이나 할인 같은 부분이 이제 적용받으실 수 있고, 이 부분은 뒷부분에서 더욱 자세하게 말씀드리도록 하겠습니다. 또한 그리고 글로벌 마켓플레이스 진출을 노리고 계시는 분들께서 이제 마켓 커넥트 프로그램을 통해서 또 본인의 솔루션을 해외 시장에도 이제 런칭하실 수 있는 기회이고요. 또한 고객분들께서는 저희와 함께 이제 진행하는 부분에 있어서 많은 이제 도움도 받으시고 지원을 받으시면서 더욱 이노베이션한 프로그램을 이제 운영하실 수 있는 부분, 그리고 저희는 이제 최고의 이제 기술과 그런 테크놀로지한 부분들을 이제 전달 드림으로써 이렇게 도움을 드리고자 합니다. 네, 그래서 이제 대략적으로 예상되는 결과 및 효과인데요. 일단은 코스트 세이빙적인 부분, 비용 절감적인 부분이 가장 큰 베네핏이라고 보실 수 있겠습니다. 그래서 정말 뒤쪽에서도 말씀드리겠지만 파격적인 그런 가격 혜택을 통해서 스타트업 분들이 고민하고 계시는 비용적인 부분 많이 이제 해소가 될 거라고 생각하고요. 또한 저희 오라클 클라우드가 이제 정말 세계적으로 인증이 된 그런 클라우드이기 때문에 그리고 또한 지금 현재 48개 리전에 이제 각 리전을 가지고 있어서 그런 글로벌한 리전들을 다 누리실 수 있고, 그리고 즉각적으로 1대1 기술 지원을 통해서 이제 필요하신 기술적인 부분들에 대해 저희가 전문가들 매칭시켜 드리면서 도움을 드릴 수 있습니다. 또한 추후에 이제 저희 성공 사례로 이제 발돋움하셨을 때 저희가 PR이나 마케팅, 홍보적인 부분도 같이 지원을 드리기 때문에 이런 부분들을 통해서 이제 국내 또는 해외에 이제 자사 솔루션을 알리시고 같이 이제 홍보에 나갈 수 있는 기회를 가지실 수 있겠습니다. 네, 그 예시 화면으로 저희가 이제 한 50개사가 넘는 이제 미디어사의 보도자료 배포하는 부분 또는 이제 저희 행사 오라클 이제 코리아 행사뿐만 아니라 글로벌 본사 행사에서 이제 참관하시고 또 실제로 부스도 운영하시고 발표하실 수 있는 기회까지 드리고 있는데요. 이 부분들을 간략히 이제 요약해서 말씀드리자면 이런 홍보적인 부분에 있어서 저희 오라클 블로그나 또는 그런 저희 유튜브 채널 또는 SNS 채널 등에 저희 성공 사례로 이제 올라가실 수 있고요. 그 외에도 이제 오라클 홈페이지 또는 이런 웨비나 에서 발표하실 수 있는 기회와 그 외 보도 자료나 이런 인터뷰 영상 등을 통해서 다양한 측면으로 이제 홍보를 하실 수 있습니다. 네, 제가 지금까지 말씀드린 거는 정말 간략한 해당 프로그램에 대한 개요와 이제 왜 이런 프로그램을 런칭하게 되었는지에 대해서 설명드렸는데요. 그 뒷부분에서는 이제 프로그램 헤드께서 더욱 자세하게 실제로 어떤 혜택들이 있고 어떤 조건이 있는지 그런 부분들에 대해서 이제 영문으로 발표를 해주실 예정입니다. 영문으로 발표하기 때문에 저희가 실시간 번역 도구를 사용해서 이제 위쪽에 이제 조그마한 서브타이틀로 이제 자막을 송출을 할 텐데요. 그 부분이 좀 미숙할 수 있지만 그래도 네, 잘 들어주시면 감사하겠습니다. 그럼 다음 세션으로 이제 라지브 매튜 프로그램 헤드께서 해당 프로그램에 대한 자세한 내용과 혜택 알려드릴 수 있도록 하겠습니다.
안녕하세요, Korea. Wish you had great holidays and wish you a happy new year. Thank you for joining in for the launch webinar of Oracle for Scale-Ups Korea. The way I would start is, the people behind the program. So we, as Oracle for Scale-Ups, I mean, I've been running this program for the past 6 years in Oracle. And the leadership behind this has decades of startup experience. So either we were founders or we were running a startup program. And therefore, we absolutely understand the agility that a startup is all about, which means you want to run at a very fast pace. And you can't wait for Oracle or any of the very large companies, to follow along. You need to run with them, and that's why we have a startup program and a specific team for this. So the leadership, as said, we understand what agility matters to startups. We understand how fast you want to run, and we want to equip you with everything that you require to succeed. So that's about our leadership at the Scale-Up program. Then I would want to talk about the technical mentors, right? I mean, who's helping you in your journey. Now, the technology of the cloud is just part of it, right? It's mostly the business, the sales, the business, the growth, the operations. Now, many times when you're a startup that was either moved from an on-premise to cloud, or you were born in the cloud, you would have chosen that path because you wanted to start slow being a startup, and then somewhere a cloud hyperscaler came in, they give you a lot of cloud credits, and you happen to build your entire architecture around it. Now, having grown through that journey, today one of the challenges that you face is, it costs a lot of money, because as you have scaled up, you would have taken in a lot of your architecture. Now you're having high egress or ingress costs, your performance you would like to improve, but you are somewhere not able to do so because of the platform restrictions. Now, we have mentors who would help you to move on that journey, right? I mean, who would look at your architecture and help you to understand how do you improve your performance, right? I mean, if you're running a huge cloud cost, how do you reduce your cloud cost today? If you want to expand across geographies, how do you build an architecture which has resilience in terms of catering to a wide geography of customers, right? If you're a fintech, security is a primary concern. Then how do you use Oracle technology to improve your security posture? In terms of operations, how do you become more efficient? These are the questions our technical mentors are pondering on and helping you to answer and improve your business, right? So we are helping you to improve the core so you are able to focus on your business. We also have experts who is helping you in terms of your marketing events, PR, and media coverage. And the reason why this is important is any startup that wants to sell into the enterprise space, what they need is to be backed by a VC or and as an investor who would have validated their cloud or their solution. Or they would. It also adds where a technology provider, an enterprise technology provider like Oracle, having understood enterprise in and out, is able to vouch for a startup. So therefore, the co-created collaterals that we create together, that we talk about you, is in a way saying that yes, this is a startup that we have vouched, validated, and we would like to talk about them because they have a solution which carries innovation for our enterprise customer, right? Then we have the customer product engagement opportunities via the Market Connect program. Just imagine you are selling into an enterprise and you would go there and meet, and the chances are high that you will always see an Oracle footprint. It could be a database, it could be an ERP, it could be a CX, it could be an industry solution for all that you know. Now, how would you integrate with that product, right? You need help. And that is where Oracle comes in. The Oracle for Scale-Ups program will help you navigate with an Oracle to help you get those integrations, right? I mean, help you connect with the product team and help you connect with the customer. So we will have our account teams to support. These are the conversations that marks a significant, support to a startup, a B2B startup selling into the enterprise today. And the business development team from day one, there is a person always dedicated or mapped to you from your journey in Oracle. So if you are a scale up that wants to sell into an enterprise customer, you want to have a preferential pricing, you want to have a solution support, pre-sales, that is something that is always available within this program and from your account manager within Oracle. And believe me, every large deal or you talk with your enterprise customer, if you want to look at how to integrate with an Oracle product, how do you want to have preferential pricing, how do you want to have a POC, proof of concept enablement with a customer, these are all conversations we are experienced to handle, and we are happy to handle that for you, right? So it is, in a way, helping you to make much progress rather than having to deal all that yourself. And last but not the least, the mentors and the ambassadors is our community of industry experts. I mean, heesoo.byun here is ambassador, the program ambassador for Korea. And we have more mentors who would help, who is very much focused in terms of helping a startup to succeed. Higenyo Mayakote, the CEO and founder of Molecular, was a stellar startup that joined our program. And at first, when he joined us, he thought, oh my God, this is an enterprise that, it's very difficult to navigate. But then, a few months down the line, he became the biggest champion for our startup program. Okay, so that's how we see our startups. To talk more about the program, what does it have? See, it's open to all the startups, irrespective of size. So we are happy to associate with the early stage, as well as have a program benefit for the scale-up program, for the scale-ups, right? The mid to late stage startups. We don't take equity. And when I say we don't take equity, I would just trace my conversation back to, the earlier slide, where I mentioned about a very early stage startup that comes in born in the cloud, which takes up a lot of cloud credits from a hyperscaler, and then tends to, by force of nature, tends to build their entire architecture on a particular hyperscaler, but is not able to get out of it because once the costs have grown and once they have started growing up, right? I mean, so the options available to them are very limited because they are in a lock-in with the vendor. Now, that is in itself a kind of an equity. Now, when Oracle says we don't take equity, it's not just the commercial aspect of it, I mean, it is saying that we also don't, we don't look at locking in a particular startup onto a platform. We want them to have the flexibility, and that's a philosophy of Oracle. Add to this, we offer up to $100,000 in free credits to our startups, and the migration assistance is not just onboarding, as most of the industry would do, but then we are also looking at, well, we help you onboard. We help your developers to understand how to face up this migration with reduced risk. How do you improve the cost or increase the cloud savings? Can you bring down your current cloud spend from 30 to 50%? That's a great conversation to be on. How do you improve the security posture? How do you build the scale, build a solution for enterprise scale? Those are the conversations we get into. And qualifying startups can unlock the marketing and startup and the product ecosystems, the customer ecosystems as well. So that is a great benefit if you are looking at why Oracle for scale-ups. And it's not a specific cohort, so the application is year-round, so you can join anytime in the year. Okay, so this is a great way to look at it. So if you chose other cloud providers, let's say you chose AWS for performance and a lot of products that comes in. If you chose Azure for the cost, if you chose Google for the open source, Oracle is competing on all of this, right? And we are giving more. To explain that further, Oracle today, when AWS started, they started their journey in 2006. Oracle started becoming more visible on the cloud space with their offering in 2016. Now, which means that we got all those years of seeing what were the other hyperscalers doing, and therefore understanding all the mistakes that was made in the industry. We built our product ground up on the latest technology platform, that is architecture that is available. And therefore, the Oracle Cloud Gen 2 is the best platform you could ever look at, right? It's built for enterprise, but it's a very startup-friendly cloud. It is very simple to use, which means that your existing developer who was very experienced in terms of AWS or Azure or Google or any other cloud provider wouldn't have to go through another learning curve to understand Oracle Cloud. It's very simple to use, and therefore, migrations are pretty easier. The vendor lock-in, I think that's where I earlier talked about. Well, we are an open source champion, right? I mean, so if you look at our community in terms of involvement in the community in terms of MySQL, Linux, and many other open source tools, we have been championing the open source for the startup community, right? So you would find your Kubernetes and a host of all other tools available within Oracle Cloud. And as I said earlier, no ingress egress cost. Compare that to other cloud providers where the ingress and egress cost is pretty high. So if you're a cloud provider with a lot of data ingress and egress, well, Oracle Scale-up is unbeatable on that proposition alone, right? So there's no vendor lock-in. It's easy for you to exit and enter Oracle Cloud when you want. There are if you are one of those startups that wants to exit the cloud altogether, or want to, let us say, baseline the normal usage and rent only the spike, right? Being an e-commerce, let's say a startup or a payment startup, which has spikes only around certain holiday seasons, right? You would want to baseline a lot of that on your on-prem and then have the spikes on your rental. Now, that is a typical case for a hybrid. Now, Oracle has probably the best architecture and best products available for hybrid cloud, right? So a lot of options for scale-ups looking into those offerings. Integration with enterprise applications. Now, if you are a startup that wants to integrate with an Oracle Cloud, especially being a B2B or a B2B2C, and you are at a customer, you have a case for integrating with a SaaS application or CX, ERP, industry applications, well, I mean, here's the touch point. So we would help you navigate that and help you integrate with the enterprise applications. And then I think this makes a lot of sense for scale-ups, which is expanding geographically, right? A simple pricing structure and a standards pricing structure. which means globally you will tend to see that the pricing is almost the same. Now, that makes a lot of sense for scale-ups that wants to grow across to different geographies, the US, Europe, and so on, but doesn't want to tamper with their pricing depending on region to region, right? A standard pricing structure makes it pretty much appealing so that they have, especially a SaaS platform, if you are selling it to an enterprise customer who has customers around, then it makes your sales process that much easier, right? I mean, simple, standard. So one more thing that I would like to add is, looking at superior performance. Oracle, in fact, was the industry first to talk about SLAs for network performance. Until date, has the fastest network performance in the industry on Oracle Cloud. So I'll just talk about the early stage program. If you're a startup that is early stage, then this is a snapshot of what we offer for early stage. One, we offer free cloud credits. So you can use those free cloud credits to migrate to OCI. We have a world-class cloud architect team, which will assist you on the migration, not just onboarding, but in terms of finding your feet on the Oracle Cloud, supporting your developers, right? And then there's a Market Connect program, which is if you are a startup that is qualified for the startup showcase, I mean, we will, bring you to our sellers, right, and to the Oracle ecosystem within. The mentorship, I think that's and that's a great program for those of you who are young, early stage startups, which wants to let's say consider pivot to a different product line or wants to grow your product line. We have mentors who could help you in the journey to help you define your product roadmap in terms of helping you to understand which are the right markets to enter. What is the way to pivot into what particular category, right? What is the nearest complement in terms of opportunity space for you? So a mentor can help that figure that out because we are dealing with enterprises day in, day out. So, we know where the market is going. So this is how you qualify, and this is what you get. So you get $2,000 in Singapore dollars, and architect would help to look at your architecture and help you in terms of, not just onboarding, as I said, help you with your performance, improve your performance, reduce your costs, build on your resilience. If you're a fintech, security posture, improve your security posture is something that is of paramount importance. How do you improve the efficiency in terms of your daily operations, right? These are things that we help with. The early stage startup also get social media support and the architecture review, as I just mentioned, is part of it. We help you in terms of your go-to-market strategy. So it's a consulting thing that we offer where we could help you in terms of how to define a go-to-market strategy. And then, your developers could get trained on OCI. There's a scale-up program, and these are for the mid to late stage startups who has already covered that bit of the journey, who is already selling into the large enterprises and who wants to scale up. It could be geography, it could be in terms of a certain size, who wants to sell into a global system integrator. So that's where this journey comes in. So either you could start with the free credits, $2,000 in free credits, but that's only available for the Singapore data center, or if it's a referred startup, you can apply directly for the scale-up program. Okay, so heesoo.byun, he's a program ambassador, will be a point of contact for that. You could also reach out to me on this. You also have the migration and technical support. So there's a world-class team that's available to help you in all phases of that conversation. And then the credit to scale. Yes, that's something that is there for a differentiator for the early stage and the mid to late stage, where it's a buy two, get one free. More on that on the next slide. And then finally, the Market Connect, right? Everything around not just cloud, but how to help you scale. That's where we are focused on. It could be having as part of our events, our marketing, a PR engagement. It could be in terms of product integrations, at a customer opportunity. It could be in terms of if you are part of the OCI marketplace, then you are going to have a global visibility because you are being part of the OCI marketplace. But then if you are part of the OCM marketplace, how do we also expand that journey in terms of market connect, in terms of customer connect, and so on, right? If you are a startup that's looking for VC funding, we have a portfolio of startup VCs who we could just introduce you, and you could engage with them in terms of your term sheets, in terms of funding requirements, and so on. There's a credit to scale that I was talking about. It's a buy two get one free. So essentially, if you are a startup that's spending around $150,000 today, then you could join this program where we would fund $50,000, and your net spend would only be, your net payment is only $100,000, right? So that is you could also repeat this plan. So you could repeat that for 2 years, right? So you sign up a contract for 2 years, you can just double this up. You can get funding for up to $100,000, and you only pay for around $200,000. Now, the way I look at it is for a scale up, right? I mean, one, helping you with the architecture review, trying to bring down your cost by 30 to 50%, and giving you in terms of the buy to get one free, in terms of helping with the initial cloud credits, and also not having any kind of a vendor lock-in makes a great proposition for startups that is looking at primary, secondary, or tertiary cloud provider. So this is the value for the startups that wants to join our program. So the first two is for early stage, and the third and the fourth is for the scale-ups. The first two is, well, you are given free credits. We help you in terms of the onboarding, in terms of defining architecture, which will help you in terms of the performance, cost, efficiency, resilience, and security. And if you are listed on the marketplace, then how do we help you in terms of further showcase and co-marketing? So that's what we do in the early stage. The scale-up program after that is for the mid to late stage startup. We do one-to-one co-marketing. So we create collateral specific to you, and which you can share with your enterprise customer, which could be reference collaterals for saying that, yes, I'm working with Oracle. Oracle has validated my solution, and here's a collateral that they created with us, right? So that's a co-marketing piece of it. The Market Connect, as I said, is to enable you to connect to the Oracle larger ecosystem, and the VC Connect is where we connect you to the VCs that's onboarded with us. We connect you to them, and you're free to progress at discussions from there in terms of your term sheets, in terms of funding requirements, and so on. And then, this comes the fire of consulting, is where if you want to take a much deeper view in terms of your architecture review, this is something we can help you with, right? I mean, what can you use instead of certain, or what can you add to your existing architecture to become more enterprise ready, right? I mean, that's where we come up with, and that's just part of the program. Okay, it's part of the service. And the migration and tech support doesn't just limit with onboarding, but then in a way we are looking at how do we reduce your cost while looking at migrating your workloads. It could be a phased one and so on. But how do we help you hands-on? How do we help your developers to make that migration? That's where the entire focus is for our migration team. I just wanted to elaborate on the Market Connect program. So this is what you get: your blogs, your social media, PR, AR, your product team interactions, marketing and events exposure, VC introductions, customer connect, partner connect. So if you are a startup that is really getting traction with Oracle, right? I mean, creating a pull through for Oracle products, Oracle Cloud, then that is something that will also lead to a partner connect, so that enabling you to expand further, which means that you don't have to put in place a channel program of your own. You can just use, we can help you in terms of your expansion, right? That's where we come from. Now this, I hand it over to Sangshuli. He will be talking about what Oracle Cloud is all about, and how to build on that performance, how to improve performance, how to save on cloud costs.
안녕하세요. 이어서 설명하게 될 클라우드 아키텍트팀의 이성수입니다. 해당 프로그램에 참여하시는 고객분들께 제공이 되는 클라우드 지원 부분에 대한 설명을 드리고 클라우드 환경에서 활용될 수 있는 여러 서비스 내역들과 OCI 글로벌 리전 구축 현황, 그리고 간단하게 몇 가지 예시를 통한 서비스 가격 비교에 대해서 설명드리고자 합니다. 아시다시피 클라우드 도입과 활용은 비즈니스와 기업들에게 공통적으로 어려움과 제약이 따르는 과정입니다. 오라클은 이러한 상황을 충분히 이해하고 지원하기 위해 클라우드 아키텍트 팀을 구성하였습니다. 각 분야의 전문 아키텍트들로 구성된 팀은 고객들에게 OCI의 이해를 돕기 위한 온보딩을 시작으로 해서 기존 아키텍처 분석을 통해 OCI 서비스를 최적으로 활용할 수 있도록 함과 동시에 POC가 성공적으로 수행될 수 있도록 컨설팅을 지원하고 있습니다. 또한 비용 분석을 통해 전체 소요 비용인 TCO를 절감할 수 있는 방안이나 데이터 이관 방식 등 다양한 클라우드 측면에서 이런 아키텍트의 지원을 받으실 수가 있고요. 필요에 따라서는 프로덕트 팀과의 소통을 통해 기능 검토나 서비스 제약 확인과 같은 지원도 받으실 수가 있습니다. 이어서 OCI의 핵심적인 4가지 중점 요소에 대해 조금 더 자세히 설명드리도록 하겠습니다. 오라클 클라우드는 먼저 보안을 최우선으로 두어 클라우드 인프라 설계 때부터 다양한 보안 고려사항을 적용하여 고객 환경과 정보를 안전하게 보호하고 안정적으로 사용할 수 있는 환경을 제공하고 있습니다. 이를 통해 고객사에서는 신뢰성 있는 어플리케이션을 구축하고 활용하실 수가 있습니다. 그 다음으로는 비용에 대한 고려 또한 빠질 수가 없는데요. OCI 환경은 인프라 자원을 효율적으로 활용하여 비용 효율성을 극대화하고 있다고 말씀드릴 수가 있습니다. 결론적으로 가격 대비 성능이 우수하며 유연한 구성을 통해서 CPU 또는 메모리를 필요에 따라 조정할 수 있는 플렉서블한 쉐입을 제공하고 있습니다. 이를 통해 비용을 절감하고 효율적인 운영을 실현할 수가 있습니다. 이러한 서비스의 효율적인 운영을 위해서 클라우드 아키텍트 팀이 지원을 할 것이고요. 고객분들의 비즈니스 가치를 높이고 최상의 클라우드 솔루션을 제공하기 위해 지원하도록 하겠습니다. 보시는 부분이 현재 오라클 클라우드에서 제공되고 있는 서비스 내역들인데요. 인프라와 플랫폼 서비스 내역들이고 전 세계 각 리전 데이터 센터에서 서비스가 되고 있어 현재 상용화되고 있는 퍼블릭 클라우드뿐만 아니라 정부에 제공되고 있는 환경, 그리고 오라클 클라우드 고객 자체 내부적으로 구축할 수 있는 클라우드의 커스텀 환경과 마이크로소프트와는 별도의 파트너십을 맺고 있으며 전용선으로 연결되어 있어 그런 리전들을 통해서 멀티 클라우드 환경을 구축할 수 있기도 합니다. 그 리전 내에는 인프라, 데이터 관리, 머신러닝, AI, 그리고 분석 서비스들이 있고 개발 편의를 위한 로우코드 개발, 데브옵스 환경 등 여러 개발 도구를 위한 서비스들도 포함이 되어 있어 최종적으로 오라클 애플리케이션이나 고객의 솔루션화되어 있는 또는 새롭게 개발을 하고 있는 어플리케이션 모두를 오라클 클라우드를 통해서 서비스하실 수가 있습니다. 또한 쿠버네티스, 오픈서치, MySQL, 포스트그레스QL 등 오픈소스 기반의 관리형 서비스를 통해서 운영 부담을 줄이고 이미 팀 내에서 보유한 그런 기술들을 최대한 활용하여 추가적인 학습이나 적응에 대한 부담을 덜 수가 있습니다. 이와 같이 이미 사용 중인 기술들을 쉽게 실행할 수가 있어 기술 투자의 효율성을 높일 수가 있습니다. 그리고 개발 도구와의 자연스러운 통합을 통해서 익숙한 개발 환경에서 어플리케이션을 간편하게 빌드 배포 그리고 관리하실 수가 있습니다. 오라클 클라우드는 전 세계적으로 다양한 리전에서 서비스를 제공하고 있습니다. 한국에는 서울과 춘천에 2개의 리전이 있으며 가깝게 일본에도 2개의 리전에서 서비스가 제공되고 있습니다. 동남아에서는 싱가포르의 한 개의 리전이 현재 운영이 되고 있고, 추가적으로 한 개의 리전이 계획 중에 있습니다. 한국에서는 서울 리전이 마이크로소프트 애저와 인터커넥트 전용선으로 연결되어 있어 두 클라우드 환경 간의 짧은 응답 시간을 보장하고 있어 멀티 클라우드 전력을 구축하기에 용이합니다. 이로써 어플리케이션은 마이크로소프트 애저에, 데이터베이스는 OCI에 그렇게 사용하는 아키텍처나 그 반대의 구성을 고려할 수가 있으며 재복구를 위한 서비스를 분산시키는 구성도 가능합니다. 이러한 인터커넥트를 통해 다양한 구성을 검토하고 구현하실 수가 있습니다. 다음으로 가격에 대해서 좀 비교 설명을 드리고자 하는데요. 사실 가격은 메인 주제는 아니지만 고객과의 논의에서는 여전히 중요한 부분이기도 합니다. 물론 가격은 복잡한 주제이며 한 장의 슬라이드로 간추려서 설명드릴 수는 없지만 보시는 표와 같이 정리 비교해서 설명을 드려보고자 합니다. 다양한 고객 상황에 따른 할인을 받을 가능성도 있지만 가능한 한 공정한 비교를 위해 할인 없는 온디맨드 리스트 가격을 사용하고 있습니다. 가장 많이 사용하는 서비스 중에 컴퓨팅, 스토리지, 네트워킹은 물론 데이터베이스의 기본 제공 사항 중에서 몇 가지 예시를 선택했습니다. 슬라이드를 읽는 방법은 OCI 가격을 기준으로 사용하고 있고 그 외의 모든 것이 더 비싼 것은 빨간색, 그리고 더 저렴한 것은 초록색으로 나타내게 됩니다. 예를 들어 가상머신 AMD 4개의 vCPU, 16GB 메모리가 OCI에서는 2개의 OCPU로 매핑이 되고 AWS, 마이크로소프트 애저, GCP와 같이 모두 같은 구성일 때 2배 이상 비싸게 책정이 됩니다. 조금 더 흥미로운 점은 네트워크 비용인데요. 네트워크 트래픽 아웃바운드, 즉 클라우드에서 외부로 나가는 트래픽의 경우 약 10배 이상 저렴하기 때문에 네트워크 트래픽에 많이 영향을 받는 서비스를 사용하시는 고객분들에게는 특히 중요한 부분일 수가 있습니다. 이러한 가격이 모든 고객에게 적용되지는 않지만 OCI가 다른 클라우드 공급업체보다 일관되게 더 저렴하다는 추세를 보여드리고 있습니다. 제가 설명드릴 마지막 장표가 되겠는데요. 오라클 클라우드를 사용하는 고객사들 중에 일부분만 표현이 되어 있지만 보시는 것처럼 뱅킹, 물류, 제조, 통신사 및 다양한 플랫폼에서 중요한 서비스들이 오라클 클라우드에서 구동이 되어 사용되고 있고 글로벌 소개 자료다 보니까 한국 기업들이 이 장표에는 포함이 되지 않았는데요. 실제로는 삼성 SDS, 삼성 시큐리티, CJ물류, 하나로 TNS, 현대 H몰, 세종병원, 후이스 등 다양한 한국 기업에서도 사용 중에 있으니 참고하시면 좋을 것 같습니다. 추가적인 고객사 확인은 저희 공식 사이트인 oracle.com/customer에서 확인하실 수가 있습니다. 이것으로 제 설명 부분을 마무리하도록 하겠습니다.
I just want to talk about a couple of journeys. So now Hyrio was a startup that was part of a program in JPAC. We connected them to Society General. So we were working with Society General on a particular solution. And on that, we needed to have a better candidate onboarding solution. So what we did is we brought along Hyrio on that conversation. And what we did is we created a solution today which now is scaling across Society General, right? So they started with us on a small opportunity. Now they are scaling out across Oracle. Now, what the program did for Society General is very innovative. So they reduced the 20% in overall recruiter efforts. And this was during COVID, mind you. So at that time, there was already, everybody is working from home. So how do you improve that experience for a candidate? So that's what Hyrio came up with. And it was a great innovative solution for Society General. And it was also a great solution to be, join with for Oracle Cloud HCM. Another startup that we wanted to talk about was Outgauge from Israel. Now, there was a marketing solution, and they came with us, integrated with our Oracle Marketing Cloud on a particular customer opportunity. Now, which gave the customers a very high engagement rate when combined with Oracle's Eloqua solution, right? And therefore, the engagement rate rose to 35%, which is great. Now, for a customer, having Oracle Eloqua, along with similar startups on the digital marketing, these kind of things comes across as very innovative, and that's what we are looking at as one part of the journey when we are working with startups, right? We have customers who is on the digital transformation journey. They are innovating their part of the business. They want to automate some process. They want to introduce new product lines. Now, how do you find startups that is very innovative and is great to partner with? And that is where we look at startups which can create a pull-through for the Oracle SaaS solutions and industry solutions. And that's kind of the partner success models that we are having. So free cloud is just a beginning. So if you are a pre-Series A, then you can choose the early stage startup program, sign up for the trials, and get the free cloud credits. And if you are a Series A, which is a mid to late stage startup program, and in the B2B and B2B2C space, serving the enterprise customers, well, the Oracle for Scale-Ups program, the late stage is your program to be. For either of these programs, you can reach across to our program ambassadors for Korea. heesoo.byun will be a point of contact. She has the program launch guide and the link to sign up for the program. So that was it from me, and I'm open to any questions.
그러면 일단 웨비나 저희가 준비한 내용은 여기까지 마무리하고요. 질문이 있으시면 Q&A 창에 올려주시기 바랍니다. 그럼 오늘 참석해주신 분들께 모두 감사드립니다.